anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are two big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hey guys, I'm Heidi Preeb. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. For the past couple of months on this channel, we've been talking about resilience. And to start rounding off this series, I want to talk today about which traits make someone hard to manipulate. And before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, I want to just offer up the perspective that a lot of things that happen, particularly inside of relationships that involve two insecurely attached people that are manipulative, are not necessarily intentional. So if you want to get incredibly technical, all insecure attachment styles are ways that we have learned to unconsciously manipulate our environments to get our needs met. And this does not mean that the people doing this manipulating have bad intent or are actively aiming to kind of take over somebody else's autonomy. But what we're going to go over today, these traits that make us resilient in the face of manipulation, are likely to go a long way in serving the health of both the person using them and the health of their relationship. Because essentially what these strategies are strategies for getting back into secure functioning. So this is going to protect us both against overt forms of manipulation that might be more intentional, but also against more unintentional ones that are just kind of the natural outflow of insecure strategies doing the best that they can to connect. And the other thing I just want to touch on before we get started is that sometimes our attachment systems or our early trauma patterns can lead us to overperceive of things as manipulative when they are in fact offerings that are made in good faith. And so we're also going to look at areas where we might be prone to interpreting things as manipulative that might actually not fit that bill. So those are the two kind of caveats I want to give before we dive into this. But without further ado, we'll talk about 5 things you might want to work on if you want to become impervious as much as you can be to manipulation. The first thing you want to do is you want to look at closing the gap as much as you're able to between the way that you like to think of yourself, or the way that you might even need to think of yourself in order to stay regulated most of the time, and the way that you actually are. So to be insecurely attached in any form means to have a lot of blind spots. So a lot of areas where you haven't done that shadow work and gotten comfortable with the parts of yourself that are not cleanly aligned with your kind of ego story about yourself. And generally, when we have these big blind spots, what happens is that we have kind of fixed or rigid identities. Because when we need to think of ourselves in very narrow and particular ways in order to stay regulated and in order to keep respecting ourselves, the problem is that anytime we happen into a situation where a trait that is not congruent with our ego or the way that we like to think of ourselves is, in fact, the best trait to use to navigate that specific scenario, we are going to default to the trait that we like more and then feel manipulated, or in a lot of cases, actually get manipulated. So what does this look like in concrete terms? What this looks like is, for example, if I need to always think of myself as a kind and generous person, all somebody has to do to manipulate me, consciously or otherwise, is to present me with a situation where a kind and generous person would necessarily do the thing that they want me to do. And if I absolutely need to think of myself as that kind of person in order to keep feeling okay about myself, I'm going to feel like my hands are kind of tied in terms of the choices that are available to me in that situation.
Yes. Heidi Priebe, man. She'd be cooking with the rarest grease. You're listening to the Voice of Reason on KBLA Talk 1580 from the heart of Leimert Park. You already know what it is. My goodness. People don't even think that deeply into relationships, right? But that's what relationships are for. You can tell she's done a lot of clinical work, clinical study, but she's also done a lot of work on herself. She's even shared her attachment style as being fearful avoidant. That's why she does a lot of content on fearful avoidant attachment style. Fearful avoidant, aka disorganized. Many of us are just running into relationships blind because we think it's a space for us to unwind and chill and relax. No, that's spiritual. Your relationship is spiritual university. That's what it is, right? Her and Thais, that's right. That's Thais Gibson. Excuse me, I called her Heidi Priebe. I think that was Thais Gibson. That was Heidi Priebe. Yes, Thais Gibson is the other one, the other clinician. She's also fearful avoidant, and she has a lot of content that outlines this stuff. We just think we can just hop in a relationship with anybody. Nah, you're never, ever going to avoid the work that is necessary for you to do. Now, tonight's topic, don't call it an L, call it an LL, a lesson learned, or light leveraged. Fire topic tonight, been on fire the whole time. We got Anthony from Milwaukee. He was in the middle of making some points, and I want him to get right back to the fire he was blazing. Come on back in here, Anthony. Please finish your final thoughts.
Man, I'm gonna just finish my final thoughts. Because I kind of forgot. I was talking about my nephews, but I can say this just to sum it up where I am with my wife, some stuff that we went through. So in this relationship right now, and I feel like all relationships go through this. I feel like you start off in the honeymoon phase, and then stuff going together. Maybe y'all move in or whatever happened. But obviously you can have kids and skip stages. But then I think the next phase is like the arguing stuff. Mm-hmm. You really find out who that person is. Mm-hmm. Then I think one of the things that a lot of people don't go through, or that a lot of relationships don't make it through, is the financial phase. Right. Because when you start combining money, a lot of stuff happens. And that's where a lot of people take their L's at, because they can't make it past that. And if you get past that, I feel like you get to a place, if y'all meant to be to a place where I'm at with my wife, which is a spiritual phase, where everything is what it is and we just on one accord. Mm-hmm. So I feel like anybody out there listening, if you feel like you in a relationship that maybe you think you could do better in, or maybe it's just not working out, I would say just look at the things you would like in yourself, see if you can work on that, and then see if it will reflect in your relationship.
And man, let me just say this. I appreciate you taking the time and hopping on the line. We appreciate your words of wisdom and encouragement. If it resonates with you, hey, good. If it doesn't, that's okay. We see this brother as family. Anthony, guess what you just did?
What's that?
You brought Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got more callers. But let's break down what he's saying. You guys have been hearing me say this for the longest, man. Whip. All human beings are whips. Works in progress. And there are experiences that come into our lives that can further our progress or retard, slow our progress down. And really, it's our choice sometimes. Sometimes it's unconscious. But we really have to make a conscious effort of staying aware of who we are in these difficult moments. From loss to liminality. What is liminality? This goes back to me talking about being a work in progress. Liminal. Liminality is from the word liminal, and it means occupying a position at or on both sides of a boundary or threshold. In other words, that's the middle, right? It's transitional. A work in progress is constantly in perpetual transition. And guess what? Every time you encounter an experience, it either pushes you forward, keeps you stuck, and these are all perceptions, by the way, pushes you forward, keep you stuck, or pulls you back. But many of us who are greatly or highly self-unaware, we don't know what direction we're being pulled in. So what do? We go back to the norm, the familiar. Reframing the L as a lesson in love, lack, and liberation. We often categorize failed relationships as losses, emotional L's that denote defeat, rejection, or betrayal. But what if the very concept of loss, right, misrepresents the function of the relationship itself? Drawing upon the works of Krishnamurti, Dr. David R. Hawkins, Pema Chodron, Babette Rothschild, and other polymathic thinkers in psychology, attachment theory, metaphysics, psychology, spirituality, philosophy, linguistics, all of it, right? This topic proposes a radical reframe. The L is not a loss, but a lesson learned, a psycho-spiritual recalibration towards authenticity. Not an indictment of personal failure. Myth of the loss. Love as egoic projection. In On Relationship, a book by Krishnamurti, he observes that what we often call love is merely the projection of our own self-image, an extension of our own internal fragmentation disguised as a union. From this lens, loss emerges not from losing a partner, but from losing the projection we mistook as truth. We mourn not just them, but the unmet fantasy they once animated. This distinction between the real and the projected reveals that heartbreak is less about rupture and more about disillusionment. In the terminology of general semantics, Alfred Korzybski, the map we've drawn no longer matches the territory. In this vein, questions like, did I love the person or the way I felt being seen by them, unravel the unconscious performing out the unconscious performance of it embedded in our relational lives. That's what it does. It unravels that unconscious performance. Dr. David R. Hawkins, Levels of Consciousness, reminds us love rooted in need, expectation, or fear arises from lower attractor fields / conditions of scarcity masquerading as intimacy. This is why I keep telling y'all, many people do not understand the consciousness level of love. Love is synonymous with God. The Quran says God is needless. Allahu as-Samad. Allah is needless. The Bible lets you know God needs nothing. God is the source of it all. So how can you say you're in love and you need them to meet your needs? I know psychology says they need to meet your needs. But what I'm saying is I can only meet your needs, right, up until the point where you ignore your needs. I'm the external. I can make sure the external is cool. But it is all for naught if you're not internally meeting your needs. If we only have external meeting of needs, now we have addiction. Now we have craving. Now it's attachment, which leads to suffering, according to the Buddha. All attachment equals suffering. Dukkha is the term in Pali. Dukkha means suffering. But there's an opposite term, sukha, contentment, peace, joy, happiness, fulfillment. But these are all inside jobs. Maybe the L was designed for you to realize that you're an attachment addict. You on that blue magic attachment. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. And I'm going to go back. I got to go back. Dr. David R. Hawkins, Levels of Consciousness, remind us love rooted in need, expectation, or fear arises from lower attractor fields, conditions of scarcity masquerading as intimacy. When I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines because people want to talk, but so do I.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PUSH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, average. There was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you remember first time you heard the legend in leather? The career ended with the road killer stopped to his fender. I'm on another bender, drunk off the power to make a coward surrender as I devour contenders. Talking foul of whoever, your head is about to get severed. Then about to with pleasure, I'm pouring out, I'm a renner. Homies, I won't forget them, so tap the bottle and pour it. Supermodels, I ignore them later on, it's like porn. Reincarnation of the Ripper, I give stitches and chest zippers. Cinderellas get propelled out their glass slippers. Time is ticking, giving ass whippers. How we keep the cash slipping.
What a super duper stranger. I can't understand a single word you're saying. I think you have syrup brain. About to finish you like polyurethane. All that molly poly sure to drain your spinal fluid from your vertebrae. This the murder gram and I brought my murder game. My shit fire, that is why you log on it like Duraflame. And as far as boulevards, I'm talking about farmers like insurance claims. I just blew your girl away, but she on so much blowing lean. I call that Katrina. Somebody better give her a cane.
And that's on everything. She love my heavy chain, my yellow diamond shining. Got a whipping like lemon meringue. Slipping in front of the gang, she slipping inside of the range. Quick to go out with a bang, it's like I threw out a grenade. Once you pull up in this when the killing will begin, you feel me pulling up the skin. I really came to get it and deliver murder grams. Turn over your ambulance, 30 bullets in advance.
Welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I'm a licensed therapist and coach. Today, I want to talk about 3 things a healthy man will do when you're newly dating that will drive you crazy. So this video, I watched a video from another creator about slow burn relationships, and it made me think. Many women, especially if you're watching my channel, you may have a history of having not the greatest dating experiences or relationship experience, right? You may have had toxic relationships. And once you do your healing work, a healthy relationship or the dating phase can be very triggering, because it's like, why isn't this moving how it has moved before? So I want to share 3 things. I really got 4 things because I got a bonus. After I did the script for this, I was like, oh, this other thing came to me. So I'm going to get started. The first thing is, this man is going to move with intention. We are really used to relationships moving very quickly, especially if it's a toxic relationship or unhealthy relationship. Those relationships move very fast. The getting together moves very fast, but he's going to move with intention. He's going to want to get to know you, to spend time with you. He's going to ask intentional questions. And if you are one of the ladies, you struggle with anxious attachment, this may be very hard for you because you're used to men just getting, go out on a couple of dates and he chooses you. You're also used to him talking to you a lot and spending a lot of time with you. And so if it's a slow burn relationship, I'm going to do a video on that so that we all have an understanding of what that is, right? He's not going to be quick.
No disrespect. I love what she's saying. I'm not saying what she's saying is incorrect. I'm not saying it's bad advice. I would even say to be patient is good advice. Taking your time, getting to know each other. 100% agree. But we got to stop selling it as if it's a system, right? And of course, she was mentioning attachment theory, right? Right? There is no system for love. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to lay that out right there. So many people write self-help books and say, this is the way to love. Be intentional. Or the slow burn. I'm not saying the slow burn doesn't work. I'm not saying she's giving bad advice. What I'm saying is, many years ago, in the late 20s or 30s, I think it was around 32, the great Krishnamurti did something extraordinary. He was chosen by a group of Europeans to be the world teacher. Basically, the Messiah for the new age. All these Iyanla Van Zants, Deepak Chopras, Wayne Dyers, Tony Robbins, Eckhart Tolle, they all got it from Krishnamurti. He was the first. But he did something extraordinary. They set up all types of secret societies for him to be the leader of. And then they told him his brother would not die. His brother was sick with tuberculosis. They moved to Southern California, to the Ojai Valley, where they were given a cottage. The climate in Ojai was conducive for his brother Nitya's health. They didn't want to go anywhere. They just wanted to be alone. It was a time of privacy for them. Brothers hanging out. And then the folks said, hey, you got to come back to India and teach. You got to come back to India and be the world leader. Ultimately, as soon as he got on the boat, his brother died. And he lost all faith in these people. But he produced a powerful speech called Truth is a Pathless Land. And I'm giving you all of this context to tell you love is a pathless land. The highest form of it, it's a level of consciousness. It's like nirvana. It's like self-realization. Love is a pathless land. If we keep setting up patterns and schemes and concepts, do you understand? We think we could sell it, package it, this is how you love, guaranteed results. That's not how it works. When I come forward, I'll go even deeper.
Blow your mind with the sword up. Just when you thought it was safe, we busting at you from the rape. They hitting the donate and nothing sweet when we come into play.
I say that you ain't fucking with wine. Do not mean kisses blue, but I got the potential to fucking flip when I mention with a pension to come back with a vengeance like Jack the Ripper. Rip it, just giving you a sample of fucking snip it like sisters do. Now when I hit the booth, I think of the days I open. I was quick to fool, used to fly off the handle like a fucking peaches bloom. I called it plugging flowers because I was so quick to pick it.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass says the National Guard and Marines are not needed in the city, pushing back on President Trump's claim that things are out of control.
People have asked me, what are the Marines going to do when they get here? That's a good question. I have no idea. The National Guard that are here now have one assignment, and that is to protect one building.
She says LA already has state support and did not ask for federal help. R. Kelly's lawyers say his life is in danger in prison and claim they found evidence of misconduct by prosecutors. They're filing an emergency motion for his release. Kelly is serving 30 years and is not eligible for parole until 2045. And Colorado coach Deion Sanders is, quote, feeling well, end quote, after missing the start of summer camp, according to his son. No details were shared on his health or return. Sanders has dealt with blood clots and has had 2 toes amputated in the past. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again. Holla, holla.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast. Oh my God! But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on! On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend. I can't wait to hear it. This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos. Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you. Love you.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, Member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, Yvette, there's a lot of rumors going around. It's so bad, baby, you might have to skip town. See something smelling fishy and they say it's you. All I know is that you made it with the whole damn crew. They say you're a man eater during the full moon. Mascot of the senior boys locker room. They said Yvette walked in, there wasn't too much rap. Her reputation got bigger sit down and write you a long letter.
Dear Yvette, dear Yvette, dear Yvette, dear Yvette.
I'm glad you ain't my sister, then again, if you was, I'd have to treat you like you was my distant cuz. I'm not a news reporter, I don't mean to assume. What should I think? I seen you coming out the men's bathroom. You wasn't in there alone.
Will you let your past go? Your hurts, the wounds that you have received, the unfulfilled desires, the anxieties, which is the past. So psychologically, if there is no future, it applies also psychologically, there is no past. I wonder if you see this. You can't have one and reject the other. They are the same movement.
Man, did you think this show was going to get done without a little bit of Krishnamurti, a.k.a. Krishnahurti? Because he going to hurt your feelings with the truth, man. The voice of reason is on complete fire. These topics are designed to trigger you, to cause deep reflection, introspection, right? Self-mastery, right? Is the byproduct of self-awareness, right? Relationship is a mirror that reflects who we are back to us. This is how we discover the truth of what we're about, what we're even afraid of accepting within ourselves. Relationship will expose it. Relationship is spiritual nudity. I know. It's just going to strip you down. That's what it's designed to do. We've got callers on the line, one of my favorites. But before I get there, I want to remind everybody, our KBLA Talk 1580 4th anniversary events are fast approaching, and seating at all 4 of our special events is getting tight. Have you registered at our KBLA 1580.com website? If not, let me encourage you to stop everything you're doing right now and go do it now. All you have to do is go to KBLA1580.com. Register. It's our 4th anniversary, and we really want to celebrate it with you. If you are planning to join us for our 4th anniversary celebration and barbecue on the Juneteenth holiday, we're asking everyone to bring a food gift card of any amount for the victims of the Altadena fire, grocery store chain, or restaurant. We're grateful for whatever you bring to help the families still displaced by the wildfire. So go to our KBLA1580.com website right now and sign up for the events you plan to attend. All of our anniversary events are completely free, but seating is limited, and you must register now. Okay? Thank you. We appreciate it. Back to today's topic. We got to get our callers in here really quickly because we're getting closer and closer to the finality of it all. JW from South Central Los Angeles, you're up next. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, my brother, I'm glad I'm able to speak, man. Just like when I last spoke with you, I said I have a chance to speak about my wife. The other caller made reference to his wife and his nephew in reference to being a fool, or I used to use the term now, a grown fool. I said that multiple times throughout my life in reference to getting people out my face. I said, now, only God bless children and fools, so I'm no longer a child, so I must be a fool. And that's to get people out my face because I'm about to ready to do something to them. But it also made me think about my whole span of my life, how sometimes I have been foolish in reference to my wife. Now, go back to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I got married to her spontaneously with that notion of, as you mentioned, Disneyland, Hollywood, or I'm going to call it fiction or fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
The term is called love at first sight. Okay, I believe you. She was standing in line in Hollywood to go the show called what? Love Connection.
Love Connection.
I'm standing. Yeah, right. You remember that back in the day? Okay.
Chuck Willery. Yes. Be back in 2 and 2.
That's all right there. I think this boy. I married her just right after the Twin Towers fall. So I think that was what 19, whatever that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in line with Judge, not Judge Judy, the brother, Judge, whatever his name, not Matthew, Judge Joe Brown. So that's where I met her at. Okay. And she always made that reference to her friends and everybody. Yeah, it was like a love connection. And even the people at church, oh yeah, you guys look like a union, or that you are sisters and brothers, y'all look well together. And then this other woman said, I think she called herself a, what's the term they used to use? Prophet or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And she said, she had I don't know the term they used to call it, but anyway, you're supposed to have a third person to confirm it, not just one. And I believe the myth. As well as you never let anybody divide your marriage. You're married because you're supposed to be married indefinitely. And I was foolish enough to keep coming back. And I see myself as someone that never learned that lesson in reference to what you're speaking on. And then also,
but you've learned it now, right?
Oh, of course, I learned it through the process as well. That's why I had to leave.
Right.
I mean, I was forced to leave. I'm just giving you the beginning of the scenario when I first met her, believing all the bull crap. You follow my point?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I realized I was being foolish after the fact, because I had to go through that process of false sense is the best sense. And then, like you played that, made that reference. My grandma said, school is free. No, I had to pay for this lesson.
Hey, J-Dub, you said you had to pay for that lesson. School ain't free. Oh, there's a spiritual tuition. I like that.
I have more to say if I have time.
Well, we got to push forward. But we love you now. You can't just...
Love you back.
Hey, brother, call in anytime. You are brother, J.W. from South Central Los Angeles. Hey, man, Jay be cooking. I love Jay. He can always call in here. And besides, he brings South Central Los Angeles into the building. Listen, JW is a voice of reason OG. Can we front on that? JW's voice of reason OG. And we got some OGs out here. Leroy's an OG. Right? We talk about the West Coast side over here. Leroy's an OG. Leroy from Inglewood. Hey, man, I miss Curtis from Pasadena. That's an OG. We ain't heard from him since the fires. Listen, man, we on fire tonight. And we're going to keep it lit. When I come forward, I'm going to land this plane because this topic has been an absolute bombshell. Don't call it an L. Call it an LL. A lesson learned.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text EQUAL to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text EQUAL to 321321. That's EQUAL to 321321.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Bottles in your pocket, 40 dog in your hand. Don't you know you're just a worker and your boss is my man? LL this, LL that. Soon as I walk in the place, I wanna take my gun and shoot you in your motherfucking face. You're playing me too close with the scheming and games. I guess the beef and the bullshit is the price of fame. Movies, records, going on tour. 20,000 people hip hopping on the floor. Whole party's body rocking and everything's chill. Get back to New York and the suckers act ill. See, I fought with the devil, made a promise to God.
So when you come to a dead end, and we are individually and socially now at a dead end, this is the moment of which it is said man's extremity is God's opportunity, because we have to stop. And when we stop, we find a world that is happening rather than being done, being shoved. And that happening, as distinct from doing, is our fundamental self. And our fundamental self is not something just inside the skin. It's everything around us with which we connect. When you look out of your eyes at nature happening out there, you're looking at you. I'm not going to say what we should do from then on, but simply that before we think of doing anything in this critical situation, we realize the completely illusory nature of the beings that we think we are.
Man, I love Alan Watts. So many jewels was laid out on this show. I'm sure we brought the point home. There are no losses. Lessons are blessings, or leveraged light, right? Don't call it an L, call it an LL. Lesson learned. And whenever you learn, you evolve. When you evolve, you elevate. When you elevate, you can transmute who you used to be into who you're becoming. right? Heavy stuff tonight. I got my final caller on the line. Davy Lee, Arkansas, in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, personally, man, by the way, it's good to hear from y'all, man. Personally, you're going to have to take them L's and try to reconstruct them into wins, man. If you keep looking at it as a loss, you're just going to be a loser, for the rest of your days. So, you got to choose wisely. Look at it as a lesson, not a loss, man. If you learn that lesson, you're gonna feel it and you're gonna act different. It's just like a person who apologizes still keep doing the same thing. You hear me? You're gonna change it up if you really care. So it's up to you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got, dog. You hear me?
Come on, man. Guess what you just did for us, brother?
I brought y'all to the sticks, baby.
Come on, we done went down to the sticks. Arkansas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you already got the invite. All you got to do is hit the dial, the number, you know what I mean? 1-800-920-1580. That's the number to dial to get in on this conversation. Now, let me wrap it. You heard me playing LL all night tonight because of this topic. Don't call it an L. Call it an LL. All right? Think of it this way. The attachment archetype as a type of spiritual curriculum. Attachment theory, popularized by Amir Levine, who wrote the Attached book, and expounded upon by Patrick Carnes' trauma bonding paradigm, teaches us that our nervous system often selects partners not for our growth, but for familiarity. This is a gravity we must learn to recognize and then break free from, right? We have to gain what is known in aeronautics as escape velocity. The Earth is set up in such a way that we need booster rockets to help a rocket break free of the Earth's gravitational pull. Now, if the rockets aren't strong enough, the rocket will fall back, or if the boosters aren't strong enough, the rocket will fall back to Earth. We have to equip our rockets or our spaceships, Endeavor, Discovery, we have to equip them with boosters that are strong enough to break the gravitational field. Many of the patterns that we have come from childhood, and those patterns have their own gravitational field. That gravitational field, that pull, that influence is called familiarity. It's called the known. And we have to achieve psycho-spiritual escape velocity. Thus, if we don't, what we interpret as chemistry may in fact be the nervous system reenacting the unresolved. Right? As Yoel Swan writes, you are your healer. Our relationships mirror the unconscious contracts we carry from childhood, right? When we ask, did I choose this person to confirm my unworthiness? We expose the ego's collusion with pain to maintain identity continuity. The ego's collusion. So when I come back and ask the question, are you a masochist? You have to go and check your ego and say, did you collude to bring me back to the familiar? Did you collude against me? But herein lies the paradox. This unconscious repetition is not failure. It's actually an invitation. Think about that for a second. The pain of rupture, when observed without your past narrative, becomes an opening. This is what Krishnamurti was saying by having choiceless awareness. Do not have the filter of the past right? Or do not look at the present through the filter of the past, right? So I'll say it again. The pain of rupture, when observed without narrative, becomes an opening. Pema Chodron calls this the wisdom of no escape, right? Where suffering reveals the contours of the false self. The lesson is not that love is dangerous, but that unresolved inner wounds weaponize even the most well-intentioned intimacy. Do you understand? Korzybski's general semantics and the discipline of English prime, known as E prime, challenges the static linguistic structures that bind us to past pain. When we say they were toxic, we speak in absolutes. But when we shift to I experienced recurring distress in their presence, we re-enter agency. This syntax shift transforms our relational narratives from confessional psychological inquiries. Wait a minute. I see you guys in the chat. Do you guys want to call in? I see the questions. I'm trying to give you guys my final thought, and you guys want to argue. Come on in. Do we have time for it, Andy? Andy said no. We don't have time for it. Let me just say this, because now I'm at the end of the show here. I'm going to do a part 2, because this was such an amazing topic. But just know, I start the conversations. It's up to you to finish these conversations. And tomorrow is Wednesday, correct? Man, we got another slapper on deck. I know these topics are difficult to digest, and it's a lot in a 24-hour period, but trust me, I'll be back with another banger. All right, deuces.
Reading the papers, don't know who's contagious. White lady look funny. This black kid talking about dropping 40 or 20. Only thing on my mind, you won't take nothing from me. And the nurse sitting across from me, she really look lovely. And the lady sitting next to me was slow to move her stuff. She ain't wanna let me sit down. Afraid of how I get down. Ain't dealing with that now. I'm going on a ride. I wonder how these people feeling really deep inside. I'm home, but damn it, don't feel like I remember. Matter of fact, it's been about 30 Decembers, and these kids don't even know who I am.